So, I heard you got a problem with the red pill.
The red pill is telling men not to get married, and they are not taking into account that the marriage institution is what forms the nuclear families. So instead of the red pill saying, choose the right women, they're saying, because they believe that the laws are unfair to men, therefore, don't get married. But we know that marriage, the institution of marriage itself, is what allows for the nuclear families to form. And nuclear families is what forms communities, is what forms nations, is what forms countries. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like you're telling them what, in essence, is what feminism is also telling people, to don't get married. I mean, feminism for a very long time, if anyone knows anything about the history of feminism, they will know that feminism has been trying to destroy marriage. So in a sense, they're working along without even knowing. I don't think they even know this, but without even knowing, they are helping feminism in the destruction of marriage.
I think I see what you're saying, but red pill would say that it's just, well, as you know, it's just not a good deal for men in the West. Maybe in non-Western countries, it's probably a good idea to get married, but in the West, and the way that the laws favour the woman, and the way it can completely destroy a man and his family, and he'll get destroyed financially. He'll get destroyed by losing his kids, and then he's back to square one in like the latter years of his life, trying to start from the beginning again. So it's. I mean, I think they've got a good point into not. I don't think I never really hear them say don't get married, but it's just like, if you get married, get a prenup, make sure you back yourself up, be aware of this situation. It's more awareness of marriage in the West, and the way the way society is.
Would you agree that whether your marriage is going to last or not last is dependent upon the type of women you choose in today's society? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sort of, a little bit, but you need to. It's also mainly about what kind of man you are. What kind of man have you built yourself into be? Will demand the kind of woman you will get.
All right, so
and whether that woman you get respects you or not.
So let's run with that. All right, let's say you are a man of value, right? You've built yourself up, which every man should do. I agree with the red pill on that. Every man should build themselves up. That's extremely important. I'm going to make sure I do that, with my son and so on and so forth. But living in the West, aren't you always at danger when it comes to picking a woman? So, for example, if you don't know what kind of women you should pick, right? Because let's be honest, human beings are deceptive. Human beings can lie. So, if you pick a woman in the West, aren't you always at danger of her leaving and taking half of what you own?
Most divorces happen because of financial reasons. And I think a lot of it is because the woman doesn't respect the man. And a lot of it is that, I mean, most men are simps, basically. So
what you're telling me is that if you become a man of value, you'll be able to spot, and if you follow the red pill, you'll be able to spot what a good woman is and what a good woman isn't?
Well, it'll give you a damn sight better chance of spotting one than not being red pill aware.
Yeah.
Massively increase it.
Okay. So it will. All right. What does the red pill tell us to do? To build yourself up as a man, right?
Yeah.
And look for feminine, fit, friendly, submissive women.
Yeah.
Okay. And those are the indicators, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But even then, even if you do find someone like that, they would probably not jump into. They wouldn't recommend jumping straight into marriage. But they're saying if you do marry, marry religiously. Don't get the government in.
There's no way you can marry religiously without the state being involved, especially here in UK. So
Is it illegal?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
As a Catholic, I cannot marry a woman without the state laws being involved. It's literally impossible. Now, hear my argument, right? What I think the red pill should be doing is telling men what type of women to pick, because the institution of marriage is so important. The institution of marriage is what allows communities, is what allows countries, nations to be built upon. Because if two people are not married, if a man and a woman are not married, then they can just, the other person can just leave. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So if the other person can just leave, then, well, look. Okay, let me put it this way, right?
But the thing is, at the moment, the other person just leaves anyway.
Yeah, because...
So even with marriage.
So isn't it funny that as marriage declines, so does the nuclear families? So we've seen a rise in single motherhood. We've seen more broken homes ever since marriages have been declining, because men are not getting married anymore. Now, if red pill is saying to men, I mean, from what I'm hearing from red pill is, they're not, and I hear what you're saying, they're not necessarily telling men not to get married, but they're saying marriage, this is what I hear from them, marriage is not beneficial to men in today's age. Which to me essentially means that they are telling men not to get married. But they're not saying that unless you find a good woman. Well, how do you find a good woman in a world that's infested with feminism ideals?
Main thing is be red pill aware, so you don't end up in divorce. I think in this situation.
But where's the... Okay, first of all...
It's more of a way to understand women and to deal with women, rather than a religion to say don't get married.
Okay,
that's how I'm seeing things anyway.
I would say that red pill is definitely an ideology. Okay. I would say that. Because it tells men what to do, and it tells men what to look for. When you've got those rules, so to speak, is there a guarantee? No, there isn't a guarantee.
There's no guarantee to anything.
From what I've heard from red pill, they literally say, men, don't listen. And the reason is, it's not that they don't believe in the institution of marriage, is that they believe that the women are so far gone in the Western world because of feminism that it's literally pointless and worthless for you to get married. That's what I heard from them. That's what I'm hearing from them. It's not that they don't believe in necessarily in the institution of marriage. It's that just they believe that the women in the West are just not worth it.